What's up, everyone? It's Tuesday, April 14th. Tomorrow would have been tax day, although now I guess we have a little bit of a break. Did you do your taxes yet, Beth?
Of course I did.
Oh, of course you did. I'm Paul Wontorek.
I'm Beth Stevens.
And we're joined, as always, by Caitlin Moynihan. Caitlin,
Hello.
did you do your taxes? Nope, didn't think so.
No comment. Don't tell my mom.
You have time. You have time. It's one of the
You
positives.
have until July 15th, everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
We have not one, but two fantastic guests. Beth, who's here?
We have Ingrid Michaelson. Yeah, I want to hear some noise. And Will Chase.
Yeah.
Quarantining together.
Yes, I know. And we have a very exciting music video premiere, you guys. This is the first music video premiere on Live at 5. This is a first. I'm very excited about it because it's amazing. We're going to find out all about that. But first, we have a little bit of news.
Today we found out a bunch of the people who are getting honored for their off-Broadway work.
That is right. We are talking about the Lortel nominations.
Yeah, which
Feels
is
very normal to talk about
this is the big fancy off-Broadway award.
big, fancy off-Broadway awards. And it's very normal at this time of the year to talk about nominations for awards, which we haven't been doing, but now we are.
You know what? The minute we got this press release, I was like, oh, something now it feels like April.
It feels normal.
You know what I
It
mean?
feels normal. Exactly.
Awards, yeah.
Okay, so 7 nominations. 7 for Michael R. Jackson's A Strange Loop.
Yes.
So congratulations to them. I should also tell you, this will be a virtual award ceremony. It will be May 3rd at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
Okay.
Keep that in mind. They will announce their virtual host and presenters at a later date. Let me give you some other 6 nominations for Will Arbery's Heroes of the Fourth Turning, which was at Playwrights Horizons. In the Green from Grace McLean got a lot of nominations. And a lot of big names, actually. Soft Power, our friends, Jonathan Groff. I like to say we were friends. I don't think we are. But Jonathan Groff, Christian Borle from Little Shop, Conrad Ricamora and Francis Drew from Soft Power. So many people and such great talent. I'm so glad I got to see so many of these.
You know, the Soft Power album comes out this week. I wanted to throw that a little mention too, because I'm excited to hear that again.
Good.
Well, it immediately makes me wonder, like, will we see A Strange Loop again? Is Soft Power? You know, a lot of these shows we were sort of hoping maybe we get to get some future life. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And some huge stars are adding to the roster for these 24 viral monologues.
So this guy, that's Javier Munoz. You all know him. He was fantastic in Hamilton. So we found out that there's this thing called Viral Monologues. It's starting. It's a new program that will be on IGTV. It's part of the 24-hour plays. The 24-hour plays is this benefit every year where they write a play literally in 24 hours and perform it and put it up. And so a lot of great performers are now part of this new thing called Viral Monologues, including Javier Munoz. That's why we showed this photo. David Hyde Pierce, Tonya Shalhoub, Stephanie Zhu, Ryan Spahn, Nat Wolff, Pedro Pascal, and more. And these are original monologues written by a lot of people. David Auburn, Courtney Barron, Christopher Diaz. I mean, we can keep going on. You can find the whole list on Broadway.com. And the 24-hour plays have been around actually since 1995. So it's fun to see them adapting to our strange new world.
Yes, and we are a sucker for you, Tony winner Laura Benanti.
Laura Benanti has been very busy in her quarantine, I just want to say. First of all, she started the Sunshine Songs, which allowed people who were going to be in spring shows at their schools to share their performances as much as they can in this environment. And now she has told us that she has recorded last month her first studio album. She does have live albums out there, but not a studio album. Of course, this crisis has delayed her releasing that album, but she did release a single. It's a cover of the Jonas Brothers' Sucker, and there's a video for it with her whole family in it, and a lot of essential workers and healthcare heroes. And she is donating her earnings from the single to Food Corps, which connects kids with healthy food during this crisis and also all the time. So a great cause and a big heart from Tony winner Laura Benanti.
Awesome. You know, she's always doing good things. I mean, am I shocked? No, not shocked, but I'm excited to hear it.
Definitely. And you guys want Tiger King content? We're going to give you Tiger King content.
Yes, we are. This is actually going to be a good segue into our guests. But so, Tiger King, the musical, a parody, is now a thing. And there are different songs being created, and we are premiering the first video today in just a few minutes from Ingrid Michaelson and Will Chase, who not only are talented performers, but film directors and writers and cinematographers. They can do everything because quarantine is bringing out all kinds of talents. But tomorrow at noon, you may have already heard the Andrew Lippa song, Little Pieces, with Kristen Chenoweth. And tomorrow at noon, we are premiering the music video, which, trust me, you want to see this. Kristen Chenoweth made it with her boyfriend at home with iPhones and a lot of animal prints. It's amazing. It's on at noon. So if you go to the YouTube/Broadway.com, you'll see it on there. And at noon, you can join in all of the fun. Trust me, just trust me.
But if you can't wait, what we're going to show you next is worth it.
Yeah, and there's more, by the way.
So much.
There's more Tiger King content to come. But let's get to today's guests. So thank you very much, Beth. I hope you enjoy the music video. Hey, Caitlin, why don't you tell everyone about today's guest?
Gladly, you guys. We have two people who very much don't need an introduction, but I'm going to give you guys one anyway. We have Ingrid Michaelson and Will Chase here with us today as Live at 5 Home Edition guests, live on both Facebook and YouTube. You guys know who they are. Ingrid Michaelson is a chart-topping singer-songwriter. She was in The Great Comet. She's working on bringing the Notebook musical to life. Will Chase, this guy has 12 Broadway credits to his name. He has a Tony nom for The Mystery of Edwin Drood. He was most recently in Kiss Me, Kate revival on Broadway. But today, they're going to talk about all of that stuff, but also, as Paul said, we are debuting a brand new project for them all about Tiger King. So you guys definitely want to stay here to hear and see that. Leave all of your questions down in the comments below. And please welcome Ingrid, Will, and Paul.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Good to see you.
How are you, Paul?
See you. You're frozen.
I love how close together you are. It's just a very good couple look, you know.
Thanks.
Hand holding, it's all cute.
My hands.
What about your hands? I thought that was one of Ingrid's. It's very okay. Painted nails. Well, I've seen him with painted nails too. He's done a lot of things over the. See, you guys, I'm so happy you're here because it's very rare that we get to share true art with the people.
True art.
Out of 5, and you have given us an amazing opportunity. There's a song that I'm obsessed with. I've been singing it all day. Not as well as Will Chase. It's called Tigers and Young Men.
Yes.
Paul,
Wait,
Paul, you kind of sound like Stephen Hawking right now. You were frozen, but now you're not.
Now you're good.
Oh, do you see me now?
Yeah, you're great.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I just wanted to say, we don't get live art that often here, Live at 5, amazing art. And I just want to say that today you have given us Tigers and Young Men, which is a song. Joe Exotic, I believe Joe Exotic sings this song. This is really in the psyche of this character, this real life person that most of the world has fallen in love with, thanks to Netflix and Tiger King. And we learn really this song really gets into who he is and what he loves, and that's the title.
Yeah.
Tigers and it's in the style of his of his country music videos that he did. So it's very an homage, if you will.
So let's just roll the video. Let's let everyone experience this, and then we're going to talk after, and we're going to talk about you guys created this, and it is pretty special. So everyone enjoy Tigers and Young Men.
I like tigers and young men, tigers and young men, tigers and young men. Yes, I like tigers and young men, tigers and young men and tigers. They can't be too young, they can't be too old. Of course, I'm talking about the men. but I also like my tigers young, just like my men. I like tigers and young men, tigers and young men, tigers and young men. Yes, I like tigers and young men, tigers and young men and tigers. They can't be too young, they can't be too old. Of course, I'm talking about the men. He's talking about the men. But I also like my tigers young, just like my. I like tigers and young men, tigers and young men, tigers and young men. Yes, I like tigers and young men. Yes, I like tigers and young men, tigers and young men and tigers. They can't be too young, they can't be too old. I'm still talking about the men. But I also like my tigers young. But I also like my tigers young. Yes, I also like my tigers young, just like my men. I like tigers and young men.
Bravo!
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I can't even deal with Ingrid. Now, okay. Let's just for people who know Tiger King, this is a beautifully layered piece of art because you are appearing, Will, as Joe Exotic. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me? Okay. You're Joe Exotic. You're in full. Now, when you watch Tiger King, did you think like, well, I could obviously play Joe Exotic? I didn't think of you.
Well, but no, of course not. And I'm not nearly film famous enough to do it. But of course, as you're watching like third or fourth episode, you start to cast it, with Muppets and with humans. No, I never thought I could play Joe Exotic. But then this happened.
Yeah, and then
Andrew reached out.
Rebecca.
Andrew, we're on a first name basis. I've actually never met him. I didn't believe that his email was in my inbox, but about the parody musical. And so I wrote a couple songs, and the first one was fine, and then I wrote Tigers and Young Men, and I wrote it in the basement, and I came running upstairs. I was like, Will. And it's very unlike me to give a song to someone else to sing, but because I like the glory.
So
but
good luck with a musical. No, just kidding.
So yeah, but I was like, you have to sing this as Joe. It would be so funny, and we'll just keep modulating and not change the lyrics because really, I wanted to make the song not cut into him in any way, and also not make fun of him in any way. I just wanted it to be earnest, and I don't want to glorify anything. He likes tigers and he likes young men.
Yeah.
And what more do you really need? And then just have some chord changes, some modulations.
4 chords in the truth, apparently.
Yeah.
But it's also brilliant because he's also he has his own music videos.
Yes.
So he got it. And I actually found out after the fact that he like Milli Vanilli'd some of those. It wasn't even him singing.
No, I can't remember the guy's name. I should look it up. But no, it's not. And because when you're watching the Netflix, you're like, man, this guy sings great. And then there's a moment, no offense, Joe. Then there's a moment in the car where he's like, can barely carry a tune, and you're like,
So one of my dear friends who was in my band for a long time, and he's a producer, he made that whole track, and he finessed Will's voice in a way
I mean, it's auto-tuned within an inch of its life.
Yeah.
I have country vocal layers that I've never had before.
Yeah,
Even
but it's that perfect sheen that are in the Joe Exotic videos. And then Will edited the whole thing and had, shot for shot, and was really doing his research while watching the actual video. So I think we did a pretty good job. I went to Target for all the costumes. I actually got an Elsa wig, so I have a mask on in the midst of buying toilet paper and things, and then I buy an Elsa wig that I can cut up and duct
attached
tape
to the back of that hat.
back of his hat.
Oh my God. And Ingrid, you're Carol. You're appearing as Carol, who of course haunts Joe Exotic's entire life. And you have some great haunting.
I'm glad you picked up on the haunting aspect, because it is more of a metaphysical Carol than an actual.
My dad thought she was stalking me. I was like, she might not really be there, Dad.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And it must be a fun quarantine project for I mean, this is like a fun thing to dig into.
Wow.
A couple.
Yeah.
So
it was fun, but we both are a little controlling. So the actual video shoot nearly broke us up, but
it didn't.
The end result.
Well, so what's funny is when I recorded it downstairs, it was fine. And then, like she said, Saul, her producer, took it and made it amazing and sent it to us. And we're like, oh, we have to make this really great. So I was up the night before, literally doing shot for shot, how we're going to do it. Of course, she sleeps in the next day.
I sleep in, and then the day of the shoot, I'm like, wait, let's get you on top of the piano.
She wanted to change everything, Paul. Everything.
The hose wouldn't have been in it if it.
But the hose, the bath, all the funny stuff is Ingrid.
Barefoot.
So.
Well, thank you for the hose and the piano and the bathtub and all that stuff. I mean, you added layers to the art. I love it so much. Now, could you guys actually see Tiger King on stage? Can you actually see this story? I mean, it's fun to see everyone sort of jump into this, but what makes a good musical? I mean, there's definitely great drama and tension and great characters.
I think it's got an off-Broadway vibe, and that's no slight. That's because we're, off-Broadway is where people try and do great, funny things. Yeah. I think it has that kind of send up, which is what we try to do with this. And you could take it any direction. You could take it like that. I mean, I don't know these characters definitely sing. I mean, when you're watching it, you're like, these people. I don't mean that. You know what I mean? When you're watching somebody, you go, oh, I can see them singing, and that's what like even this song, which. The editing is what's funny, but the earnestness with which Joe sings about tigers and young men is why it's funny,
No, it's a beautiful song, like out of context. It's just like a beautiful, essentially.
I wrote it on my keyboard downstairs with like this 80s kind of synth sound. So it kind of had this different, but I was sort of still singing with like a kind of country twang, but it had this weird sort of throwback. And I was like, it's so pretty though. It's like such a pretty song. It's so like triumphant at the end. Except he's singing about tigers and young men. But
I also want to say the single's available. And the video will be up on YouTube on your channel, Ingrid. And you're actually raising money for the Humane Society.
Yes.
I love the Humane Society. So thank you for that. And that was actually the hardest thing for me watching Tiger King. Whenever you're dealing with animals and you're sort of thinking about the animals' lives. So I think it's sort of beautiful that you chose to go in that direction.
Well, it's a hard thing because Tiger King took the world, or at least this country, by storm. And at first we're all just kind of like, this is so great, this is so funny. But when you really start to pay attention to things, there's some dark issues there. And so we wanted to have fun and we wanted to bring joy to people during this time, but also, temper that with some good doing. So you can donate at the bottom of the YouTube.
Awesome. And I also have to say, I was very lucky that last year I got a little sneak peek of The Notebook because I saw up at Vassar, I went to see the reading you did at Powerhouse Theater, and it is so good. And I know that you had a great workshop not long ago in the city. I heard amazing things about that. So, and the show is supposed to premiere later this year. Has it been officially postponed yet, or?
It hasn't. We were supposed to have a workshop actually right now in New York. We're doing like an online Zoom workshop.
Cool.
Working on the script and things
Working
like
the
that.
script. I actually just a few minutes ago, I was working on some notes on one of the songs, and we sent it to the actors. So we're still, working through a lot and getting stuff done. And then we have our workshop, and we're doing a virtual reading. We'll see how that goes. And so far, Chicago it's not until October.
Okay.
So we're still.
Right. Let's see.
Still thinking it's happening, and I mean, if anything, we'll have more time to work on it. It's just like, it's so glorious, and it's
beautiful.
It's
really
so
beautiful.
it's what the world is going to want when we return.
Yeah. It's funny. I have a friend who's not really a theater person, and I mentioned that you were writing a musical of The Notebook, and they were like, that's the perfect thing to be a musical. You know what I mean? It really is, like, story-wise, and it's so brilliant the way it's been structured, and I'm super excited to cry.
It's changed a lot since you saw it, but you know the vibe of the structure.
Yeah.
But it's definitely expanded and trimmed and added new songs, and it's just so.
But still the theatrical part of it. The storytelling is great.
Yeah. It's not like a carbon copy of the movie, but the scent of the movies runs through it like so strongly. So it's really fun.
Does it help to have this guy, this musical theater cheese ball, with you when you're developing a Broadway show like this?
Yeah, I play him things like he's the first person to hear things constantly.
And I'm usually in tears because she walks upstairs after going away for a half hour and comes up and goes, listen to this, and and I'm serious. It's like she's a really great songwriter. And then I got to see both the workshops, and know Michael Greif well, and Kurt Deutsch obviously, and Kevin McCollum, and so it's been fun to be on the other side of like listening to things and giving my 2 cents when I can.
And I listen to his 2 cents. I listen to your 2 cents.
73% of the time.
But then out of that 73% of the time, like 20% of that 73, I really listen to.
Uh-huh.
Like, there'll be a few. So I don't know what percentage.
Because I've had so many hit shows, Paul.
Oh, I've seen them all.
Story of my life.
But what's funny is when she'd be talking to Michael or somebody, and Michael would go, "Now, Will, I like that note you gave her," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? No, what do you mean? No,
Will doesn't like this part either.
Oh gosh,
especially if he doesn't like something if I don't like something and everybody else likes it, and then Will doesn't like it, I'm like, well, Will doesn't like it either.
And Michael,
they're shut up, Will.
So what else are you guys doing during this weird time other than making iconic music videos?
Sopranos, rewatching Sopranos.
Well, he's never watched The Sopranos.
Right.
And I haven't watched them in years, so we are rewatching that.
I've never seen it. I'm embarrassed to say.
It's time.
It's pretty
Gandolfini
is like, I was reading something about it, and Gandolfini is so not Broadway, but a Broadway actor though. Gandolfini was, there would be no Don Draper, there would be no Walter White, there would be no without David Chase creating this character.
Because
and Gandolfini
he's a horrible person, but you love him.
Yeah.
And it's that duality that I think HBO and James Gandolfini really got, and then everything sort of like, not that there hasn't been a lovable villain before, but it's something different in these long-term shows that become like, you watch movies now, you're like, oh, I wish that movie was a TV show or a miniseries. Like, you could really dig into these characters.
We're watching a lot of TV.
Yeah.
I'm a sports person, so I try to watch ESPN, but there's now they're doing.
He's watching like old bowling.
No,
videos.
but
I was gonna say, what's on ESPN?
Well, they're doing like NBA players playing
video
PlayStation
games.
Oh wow!
I've been watching Bachelor in Paradise. I've watched 4 seasons of Bachelor in Paradise. It's something very comforting. I've never watched the show before. So
I'm gotten on an Oliver Stone kick. I watched Platoon yesterday. I'm probably going to watch some more today.
Will played his first game of Jenga yesterday.
Oh, what? That somehow you escaped that in your life?
See, no Sopranos for you, no Jenga for me. I won 2 games.
He won both the games.
Oh, and I also want to point out that you cut Will's hair. That really slipped. Oh. I'm in desperate need of a haircut. And clearly, I should be quarantined with Ingrid Michaelson because that was fantastic.
I've never cut. I cut my own, you know, whatever, dead ends off, but I've never cut a man's
And
hair.
my hair, Paul,
His hair was big.
gigantic.
So I cut it with.
Yeah, I know all about big hair.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that, but bigger and curlier.
And then today we did the thing. You had mentioned that you might want to let somebody else do that for you.
I'm terrified to let my boyfriend touch my head.
Do it. Come on. It's quarantine. I know you're on this every day, but who cares? A little mohawk.
I'm gonna bring in Caitlin to see what the fans online are saying.
Yes, we got first of all, a lot of people are just totally enthralled with that music video. They're all like, this is gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. So
Yeah.
success.
Yeah.
Okay, first question is Joanne on Facebook wants to know if there are any other reality series or documentaries you would love to see musicalized.
Oh.
Well, Bachelor should be. I mean, on some level, Bachelor in Paradise.
Ooh.
You could
Wait,
have
which one? Bachelor?
Bachelor in Paradise could be a good musical,
Or
right?
The Bachelor. That's like
A documentary.
A reality
McMillions.
Millions would not be.
We watched McMillions.
I saw that.
That wouldn't be.
I could be that. I could be that. You know, that main FBI guy who likes to laugh after everything he says. That's a cracking reference, isn't it?
What's a good we just make up. I don't know. That's a weird question, but
That's a good. We'll give it some thought and we'll make some more videos.
I feel like a Bachelor might be funny, and all these like angry women singing love songs about this one guy would be pretty funny.
I love how you get. I love how you like pay. I love that you made a Stranger Things album, which is fantastic.
Thank you.
I love how you like, but you like. It's not unusual that you would have like written a song for this for the Tiger King because like I love how you find inspiration in like interesting things like that.
Well, when you've been writing songs for as long as I have, you need to find inspiration in things other than your life because it gets boring after a while.
How many songs can you write about Will Chase? I mean, let's be.
Oh dear God, that's
That's amazing. So Nicholas James on Facebook has a question for Will. He said, which was more fun to play for you, Joe Exotic or William Shakespeare? I know the two go hand in hand very well.
I haven't spent much time with Joe Exotic, but I got to switch up here. Sorry, I'm getting old. I can take over. I mean, playing Shakespeare was pretty great, and I had this kind of hair.
I was in Something Rotten, by the way. That was a great.
Yeah. That was so fun. That was a lot of fun. But Joe Exotic would be a fun little, thing to do. I think maybe we'll do another video. Who knows? No, you can't top that, can you? And she won't work with me. She'll never work with me again. She'll never shoot with me.
I have a video of him saying, "I'll never work with her again." I'll find it.
Are you going to come back to Broadway? We're going to see you on Broadway again soon?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Paul, I'm tired. I
get those film and TV gigs.
I've said this to you in private. I mean, Kiss Me Kate. I hadn't been like ill or sick or anything with the flu in like 4 years. I got sick like 5 times and I had IVs and shots of drugs and things like that. If I could teleport every night, I've said this a million times, if I could teleport every night from wherever I am to the stage, already made up, stretched, rolled out, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But it's so hard. I admire people now when I go watch. What? What are you going to say?
I think if the right thing happened,
yes,
he would.
If the right piece comes along.
Okay. Can you imagine it? I mean, you could if you come up with a really good idea, though, you could have Ingrid write you a show.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather talk and not sing ever again, but
Yeah, I know.
I would hate it to not hear you sing again. Come on.
I think he's gonna be back on the stage, but it just has to be the right thing.
Yeah. Speaking of that, BP on YouTube wants to know if there's ever a show that you two would like to do together.
Yeah, Sunday in the Park with George.
Wait, which one?
Sunday in the Park. I get
George.
apparently Sunday in the Park with George.
That was my first show ever in college, and I was
you played Dot Marie? /Marie? Where's that video? Is it out there?
I have it on a zip file somewhere.
Wait, put your hair back there. It looks like I look like Joe Exotic.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. I love how it's very good. I love how quickly you said you went right to the Sondheim show of all time. I love that.
We talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's do it. Where you want to do it? Right here in the living room?
You want to do it live on Broadway.com next week from your living room? We can live stream it.
Oh, God in heaven. What are we getting into?
I love that. Hey, look, I mean, Beth and I are both huge. Right, Beth? We're all big. We're big Sunday Park fans.
I'm here for Sunday in the Park with George and Ingrid and Will.
It's one of my favorite things ever. One of my favorite pieces. Yeah.
We'll take a revival of that every year. So if you guys want to do it in like 2023, we're
Oh,
down.
no, or an online revival.
Right.
A new thing, a new category.
Online revival.
Play all the roles.
There it is.
Look, hold on. There.
Oh, you know what? That's a great segue to remind everyone to donate to the Humane Society. And go check out the video on YouTube. Share it with all your friends. It's so good. Download the song and donate to the Humane Society because, well, I mean, how much better is quarantine when you have a little?
Oh, it's great.
friend?
We
so
all
many people are adopting
we
right now.
almost adopted like 20 dogs, but we opted out. You know.
I have like so many friends that are adopting right now, like, and the shelters are running out of animals. So
Be home
We
with
tried. They're out of dogs, which is great.
are they really out of dogs?
We've
well,
been
they're
looking.
closed now. You have to wait.
Now we have to
there
wait.
are dogs out there to find. So
Yeah.
everyone, please consider getting your own little friend. They're awesome, right, Henry? He's asleep. Thank you so much, Will and Ingrid. We adore you guys. Your home looks like a perfect place to quarantine. So
Yeah, come on out.
thank you for making an insane music video.
Sure.
We'll love you forever for that. And I can't wait to see the notebook and hopefully Sunday in the Park with George. Thank you again. Okay, I'm gonna pop you out. Thank you so much, Beth and Caitlin. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Caitlin, tell them who our guest is.
Yes, guys, tomorrow we have Miss Katrina Lank coming in. So be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcast by searching for #Live at 5. Stay inside, stay 6 feet away from each other, and we'll see you next time.